Good morning. This is a Get Up and Go breakfast show. My name is Dave Burney.
I'm Brent Apperson. Good morning.
And we have a special guest with us this morning.
We do.
So we're going to try to behave. Pull that microphone just a little bit closer, sir. Let's try to set a good example for our guest here from Anselmo Myrna School, correct?
Yeah.
Yes, and let's just try to show him how two professionals get along
Absolutely.
in the studio, all right?
We're being job shadowed, Dave, so we need to be on our best behavior.
Right on.
All right.
Right. And Zane, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Good. You're an Anselmo Myrna student?
Yeah, I'm a senior this year.
Oh, my God, good grief. So that went by pretty fast?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I mean, I think that's good, isn't it? That means you're learning and you don't want it to be over, but it is over.
Yeah, I'm pretty nervous for the next going into college.
Well, now, Brent's went to college. I barely made through high school. But Brent was probably nervous when he went to school.
Oh, yeah, I think everybody is.
Yeah.
I went out of state to schools, so I was a long ways from home.
Yeah.
That was a little nerve-wracking, but
Yep.
loved it.
Yeah, it's a good experience, I think. And do you know where you're going to head to yet, Zane?
I'm looking at Northeast Community College in Norfolk or CCC in Hastings
Okay.
for broadcasting.
Well, good for you. Good for you. So I hope you like crackers and cheese because broadcasters live on crackers and cheese.
Yeah, bread and milk.
Just kidding you.
Yeah.
Zane, tell us a little bit about your full name and a little bit about your family, if you would, please.
Well, I'm Zane Thompson. My dad's Edward Thompson. He works at BD. My mom's Suzanne. She works down at the courthouse. I have a lot of aunts and uncles.
Sure. Well, they're good folks. You got a good family, so it's always nice to have good support, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, Zane, I want you to know that this is Random Act of Kindness Day nationally, and
Oh, nice.
so I just tried to set an example here, Zane. Brent,
Yes, Dave.
your hair looks especially nice today. It looks like you have a little less goop in it than normal.
Oh, thank you, Dave.
And I like your haircut too, Zane. It's just my style. I've been trying to get Brent to grow his hair out, and I think he would possibly, but his wife Shelley doesn't like long hair.
Correct.
But I just wanted to say you look.
Nor do I.
I'm pretty proud of mine.
There you go, man. And Brent, I just wanted you to know you look especially.
Okay. But
especially
what
nice
was
today.
the day?
It's Random Act of Kindness Day.
Okay. Lying to me and trying to compliment me, how is that an act of kindness?
Well, it's kind of like this when let's just say you're all the guys and gals out there will relate to this. When one or the other says, "Honey, does this shirt make me look thinner or heavier?"
Yeah, we've all been there.
Well, what are you going to say? You're going to say, "Well, it makes you look quite a bit heavier, honey."
Oh, no.
No, you're not going to do that.
No.
I mean, Zane, think about it. I mean, that's suicide, right?
Thanks
But
for
I-
the advice.
Yeah. Oh, you'll learn a lot here. Don't worry.
Oh, yeah. We're full of advice, man. What I'm getting at, though, is I think that the thought behind the day is you go beyond words. You know what I mean? You like do something for someone. Like, for example, when your coffee cup starts to get a little empty, I would say, Dave, would you like me to go and get you another cup of coffee? Or just go out of the studio, bring the coffee pot in, and fill up your cup without even asking you. Just doing a random act of kindness.
What are you, crazy?
Now, you started the show just by trying to butter me up, basically. I don't think that's what the day is. I'm just saying.
Maybe I'm just not getting it.
Okay.
We'll move along. But
I do hope Christy Wells is listening. I can't wait to see the random acts of kindness that she shows to you and me today. Maybe she'll come in and fill up our coffee cups.
Maybe she'll pour it in our laps. You know Christy Wells at all, Zane?
I recognize the name.
Yeah. Well, she's just one that you want to kind of be careful. I'll just tell you right now, be careful around here when you get close to Christy, because she'll stomp her foot and give you a what's for, just out of the blue.
I'll take note.
Okay. We're going to get along fine. All right, now, should we play school lunch menus? I guess we have schools starting today. I know Broken Bow is starting at 10, and Stapleton is starting at 10. Other than that, that's the only listings we have for schools on our Sandals Express closing page today.
Okay. Oh, man. What day is it? I got to find out where I'm supposed to read these off of. The 24th, right? No, the 17th, right?
Wednesday, 17th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ansley. Cheese pizza at Ansley today.
Sumner, Eddyville, Miller. There's my pen. They're having a question mark. That's what it says here. Question mark. Okay. They are having donut holes for breakfast, though.
Loop City today.
Notice how smoothly this flows, Zane.
Loop City today. Fish sticks or chicken strips. Broccoli and cheese. Loop City.
Today at Sandhills Dunning, they're having spaghetti with meat sauce and Italian rolls.
Zane, would you like to attempt this? Would you like to read a menu?
I guess I can.
All right, there
All right,
you go.
dude.
You look that over. That's Callaway.
All right.
And it's the 17th of February.
It's the 17th of February, and Zane, I got to tell you that if you mess that up, Christy Wells will fine you. You'll get a letter in the mail fining you for messing that. So this is pressure, man.
All righty. Looks like on the 17th for Callaway is for breakfast, cream cheese and bagels, and for lunch is a pizza.
That was well done.
Yeah, very good. Very good.
You're on your way, man.
Litchfield today. Cheese pizza, green beans, strawberries, and bananas, milk. And by the way, this is Ash Wednesday.
Yes. Okay. Thetford today, grilled cheese.
Cozad. They always have some options here. Today on the 17th, they have chicken patty with hot roll, mashed potatoes with gravy. On the cold side, chicken Caesar salad with hot roll, and also peanut butter and jelly sandwiches with yogurt.
Broken Bow today, excuse me, fresh baked turkey and cheese sub, barbecue pulled pork sandwich, baked fish and cheese sandwich, and a fajita salad with tortilla chips at Broken Bow.
And at Anselmo Myrna today, Zane, you'll be enjoying fresh baked turkey and cheese subs, fish nuggets with dinner roll, barbecued pulled pork sandwiches, or you can have a vegetarian chef salad with roasted flatbread.
Sergeant today, tuna noodle or macaroni and cheese, green beans, dinner roll, milk, and salad bar at Sergeant today.
All right, we'll be visiting with Mike Evans here in just a little bit from Evans Feed. I'm sure he has been busy making sure that all the cattle out there and all the animals out there have had plenty to eat through this terrible period of cold weather we've had. And today, it was quite exciting to see the temperature when we walked in at 5:30 or so at 5 degrees above zero for a change. And it's 6 right now, and we'll see temperature up into maybe around 16, 17 today. Normally you'd say, ooh, that sounds cold, but that sounds pretty good, doesn't it?
Yeah, my Camry was a lot more eager to start this morning.
I bet.
There you go. They weren't grinding quite as hard at our house either, Zane. So we're happy about that. And by the weekend, it's going to be pretty nice. 40s first of next week, Monday and Tuesday. Which, if we can keep a lot of snow from falling between now and then, that'll be great. So that's our kind of weather overview. But the animals out there have been stressed pretty hard out in the pastures and in the barns, and of course, your pets probably been sheltered inside during some of this. I did find it interesting this morning, and I'll give Gavin just a little ribbing about this, because I think the Nebraska news story I read said that was really, really cold up in Valentine compared to comparing temperatures, and I think Broken Bow got down to 36 below on Monday, and the airport had us at 37 below, which probably about the third coldest in history here in Broken Bow. So you've lived history, Zane. You'll be talking about it someday.
Yep.
You'll probably say, that was just before I got into this room with these kooks on the breakfast show.
Yeah, we really hope that your desire to enter broadcasting doesn't change after spending time with us.
Oh, I don't think it will.
Okay, phew.
All right. Let's play the game.
Well, let's do. Let's see here. New batch of questions. It's the month where we express our love of family and friends. We just came off Valentine's Day over the weekend. So we're going to name a TV character by first name only. Then their spouse's first name and their best friend's name. You then need to tell us what TV show we're talking about.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Kind of.
Okay, so we're going to give you the first name of one of the main characters, first name of their spouse, and first name of their best friend. These are from popular television shows from the past.
Now, Zane, you can't play, just so you know.
Okay.
All righty.
Okay.
So, here's your names. Fred, wife Wilma,
Oh, yes.
friend Barney. What TV show we talking about? The Real McCoys, The Simpsons, The Flintstones, or The Jetsons?
Wow, that's a pretty easy one, isn't it?
I think so.
Yes. Well, call us. They're calling us right now. We'll pick it up while you listen to this.
Everyone loves winter. Your car door is frozen shut, it takes 10 minutes to regain feeling in your extremities after going outside, and you just wiped out on a patch of ice. While Runza can't make it any warmer, we can bring you Temperature Tuesdays. Every Tuesday in January and February, the temp at 6 a.m. is the price you pay for an original Runza sandwich when you buy medium fries and a drink. Because Runza makes it all better.
Remember, today is Pigs in a Blanket Day.
We have Karen on the line. Good morning, Karen.
Yes.
How are you today?
Oh, I'm pretty good.
Good. Karen, do you think less of guys who use soft soap rather than bar soap to shower?
I don't think it makes any difference as long as they shower.
Yeah, good point.
Very well said, Karen. Here's Brent.
Okay, Karen, what television show includes Fred, wife Wilma, and friend Barney?
That would be the Flintstones.
Yeah, you got it. That's Flintstones. Flintstones, meet the Flintstones. They're the modern Stone Age family. Do-do-do-do. Okay, I'll stop.
Thank you.
Today's Big Pig Day,
Yes, it
Karen,
is.
so you get a free pig in a blanket or a certificate for one that you can redeem at Runza. They serve the pig in a blanket on Wednesdays. So come on out and see us when you can.
Okie doke.
Thanks, Karen.
Thanks.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, it's 7:45 almost, and we'll get a hold of Mike Evans here in just a little bit and find out how things are going at Evans Feed here in Broken Bow and Oconto. Also today, we'll be visiting with Custer Federal State Bank and the Pizza Hut. And we also have a question about pizza this morning. What is the other day we found out the most popular topping for pizza was what, Brent?
Pepperoni, I would guess.
We're going to find out today what the most unpopular topping for pizza is.
Unpopular.
Yes.
Oh, I know what my guess is.
Take it.
Anchovies.
You're right on, man.
Yeah.
You just ruined the contest. But
Sorry.
what about you, Zane? Do you like anchovies?
I don't think I've ever had it on a pizza, but I'm not too picky.
You're not picky? All right. I don't think I've ever had it on. I don't think I've ever had one.
I don't think I have either.
Yeah. So how
I
could
really
that?
don't have a desire.
How could that be
to-
your most unfavorite if you don't like it, or you're just saying you just think that?
No, I'm just saying that that was my guess. I
Okay.
just assumed that it would be anchovies.
Right, Zane. I wanted you to know too that Brent has this tickle in his throat. It's not.
Yes.
It's not like COVID. So
No,
don't-
it's not. I've been checked. I'm good.
He's been checked, and here's the thing: every year during sub-districts in wrestling, he gets this.
Yep.
I don't know of a year that I remember since you've been back that you didn't get this little tickle cough.
Yeah.
It can turn into a big tickle cough about this time of year.
And I never get it till I go through the night, nothing.
Yeah.
And then I start talking and it just rears its ugly head.
I think it
So I'm
comes.
sorry.
I think it comes from singing off key, but that's just my thoughts. See, there you
could- you
because you
could
just
be
you just
right.
had a little tune there, and now
That's
you're
right.
coughing.
Yeah, that could be.
If that was true, I think I'd have one.
Me too, Zane.
Yeah.
I don't attempt to sing as much as Brent does. I did sing "Happy Birthday" to him. You know, this guy right here just turned 50 years old.
Well, happy birthday.
Thank you. I don't look 50, though, do I?
Not quite.
Well, thank you. I'll take that.
Not quite. That's pretty
I'll
close.
take that. Yes.
We'll take a time out and see if we can catch up with Mike Evans right after these words.
Hello, cattlemen. This is J.W. Simonson with Minard Simonson Angus, inviting you to our annual bull sale. February 20th, we will be offering 105 yearling bulls and one well-broke gelding. View our catalog and video at MinardSimonson.com or join us on Facebook or contact myself at 308-880-0079. That's Minard Simonson Annual Bull Sale, February 20th, 1 p.m. at the ranch near Dunning, Nebraska.
The Callaway Good Life Center offers a facility with the comforts of home. Services include skilled nursing care, long-term care, respite care, and more. Callaway Good Life Center is a great place to work, offering competitive wages. Call 836-2267 for more information.
Hello, I'm Chris Smith, the Palmer Monument Company. There are many good reasons to pre-select your family memorial. During the months of January and February, we are giving you one more reason, our annual winter sale. Come and see us today, and when you bring the coupon from the newspaper, receive additional savings off our already reduced prices. Our goal is to assist you in selecting the memorial that best fits your family needs, and will save you money too, during the annual winter sale at Palmer Monument Company of Broken Bow in Lexington.
7:48 is your time, 6 degrees above zero. Please be prepared for continued rolling outages today. They still don't have us out of the woods on that yet. NPPD stated that outages will be still occurring and in some cases longer. Plan on 45 minutes if your power goes out, and it is one of those planned rollover outages. So that's just a little reminder here this morning. They should go back online more normally this afternoon as soon as this polar air moves out and warmer air returns, and we're well on our way there. We have Mike Evans on the line from Evans Feed. Good morning, Mike.
Morning, Dave.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the weather. I know we alluded to this last time, and we thought it was cold then, but boy, oh boy, 36 below here on Monday, 37 below out at the airport, a lot of wind chills of around 40 below off and on. How are the animals doing out there?
Well, it's taking a lot of energy and a lot of protein to stay alive, you know, and my hat's off to the cattlemen and cattlewomen out there and the linemen and everybody that's keeping our power going, and you know, it's a tough gig out there for everybody.
It sure has been, and all the way down to making sure that the dogs are in the shed and you know, the small animals that might be around the place as well, needing shelter. But again, they need a lot of food to protect themselves. It's amazing that when you think about it, that you could have a hoofed animal out on the pasture at 37 below zero, and the crazy thing is they seem to get used to it, and they always want to eat no matter what what time of the year it is.
Yeah.
But it's so important.
Well, and fortunately, we haven't had a lot of high wind, and we could have got a lot more snow too. But there's not a lot of radiant heat left in any of these sheds out there. Even if they're inside, those buildings are pretty cold too. So it's pretty tough on when those calves come out. There's got to be somebody there, and of course you got to keep them up on their nutrition. You know, no matter what kind of animal it is, it's hard to brave this kind of weather and keep condition. And they're carrying a calf, and you know there's just a lot of pressure on them right now.
It sure is. So does that pick up your deliveries out there? At least we haven't had, as you said, that wind to drift things shut like, you know, some of the old-fashioned winters we remember. Have you been able to get out in the country and deliver okay?
Yeah, we've been getting along. Once we get the truck started, I think everybody's having that problem, and it's kind of leading to a little bit of logistical problems with getting product and things like that because you just can't get the truck started. And hopefully today will be a lot better. Maybe start freeing things up a little bit, and we can start getting some more product. We haven't ran out of anything yet. We got a lot of range tubes and Vitalix tubs going out, and we're getting things delivered, but I wouldn't say it's as fast as normal.
Well, you know, most people like you that have equipment outside, and farmers and ranchers and anybody that's starting things up, it just seems like it's really hard on equipment, and you have a few more breakdowns. You find out some batteries aren't so good, and it does slow things down, and it's a struggle. But I know those guys and gals out there appreciate it when they see you rolling in with a pallet of feed for their animals.
You bet. We've got our big mineral sale going on right now too through the end of the month, and it's a pretty significant savings on all our cattle minerals out there. So just want to remind people of that. I know they're probably not thinking about buying mineral right now. A lot of them are just thinking about feeding and chopping ice and stuff. But that goes on through the end of the month, and then you guys are going to come down to the feed store in Broken Bow, and we're going to draw out the big winners for every ton they book. They get enter in a drawing, and they can win $1,000 for first prize, $500 for second, and $250 for third, and then a whole bunch of little prizes too. So just want to remind everybody about that going on.
Well, that's going to be a fun broadcast, exciting. That's a pretty good pile of chips there that you're giving away. So I'm sure that people will be excited. Everybody can use a little lift up right now. That certainly would do that. So we're looking forward to that. That's no doubt about that.
It should be fun that morning. We haven't had you down there for a little while, and we'll have a nice place set up for you in the store, and we'll have some fun. All
right. That sounds great. So still can save some money there. Are your supplies okay, Mike, on all the things that are being asked for out there right now?
Yeah, we're doing okay as far as that goes. You never know. Even as bad as it is out there, there's always some sort of opportunity out there. And yesterday I got a call from a politician in New York City, and I, of course, thought it was a prank call or something. But anyway, this lady got on there, and I don't know, they must have got my number off Facebook or something. But she wanted to know if we could figure out a way to use get a cattle ration up where we could use kidney beans. And I couldn't quite figure out what she was talking about, but apparently the wind turbines are froze up, and the solar panels are covered up, and they want to try to increase the flatulence of cattle to warm the environment. That was the craziest phone call I've ever got.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You're serious, right?
You're not joking?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
No, I'm not. So I'm going to try to get a hold of the Govier brothers today. Not Grant and Doug, but Clay and Logan.
Yes.
Yeah.
And see if those guys can raise some kidney beans out here, and then talk to some local producers and see if we can increase the cattle flatulence. And maybe Frank can do a feasibility study on it out there at the ranch and see if it'll work. Maybe get some government funding.
Oh, that sounds like a program that might just be worth looking into, and I'm sure those guys would be. They're always into alternative crops and different diversities, and I know Frank's always looking forward to looking into possibilities. You got the right family there.
I think so. Yeah.
But you're serious. You actually got that request.
It really blew me away. But yeah, it was I thought it was a prank call, but apparently it wasn't.
I'll be darned.
So we're going to work on that today and see what we can get done.
Yeah. I'm just trying. I'm trying to think of how do you harness that type of energy.
Yeah, that's part of our problem. We got to figure that out.
Well, I think you just let it go and let it flow.
Just let it go.
Yeah.
just
There you go.
put them up around the old turbines there and see what happens. I don't know.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah, we got enough cattle around here. We could probably figure something out.
Yeah. May as well throw in some turnips,
Hey, there you go. I talked to the guys up the street. They might be able to help us there too. So
Yeah. They could be
making a group effort.
they could burp out the turnips and well
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so there's always opportunities out there, Dave.
I guess so.
Yeah. Wow.
You don't really know when you wake up in the morning what doors may open.
You don't. So yeah, we want to thank everyone out there again. I see these guys driving by, clearing the snow off the streets right now, and the guys trucks are starting to roll, and I really have a lot of respect for the people that are keeping us all warm and fed.
Yeah, no kidding. You do a good job of keeping the animals fed through your producers out there, but you're right. I know they continue to work on the roads and streets and try to get things cleared because there hasn't been a lot of melting going on. A lot of times you'd have a little help from Mother Nature to get rid of some of that snow. And I noticed up past your place yesterday, they really did a lot of wide swath cleaning there. So big job. And, of course, the extra hours and so forth it takes, we appreciate it.
You bet.
All right.
Yeah, just a quick reminder, we got a lot of bird feed for sale. We got a good deal on black oil sunflowers, and the birds are really eating a lot. And all the pets out there, please pay attention to your pets if they're outdoors for any time. And of course, the cattle, we got plenty of tubs on hand. We got plenty of mineral and range cubes, and we've also got a fresh load of wood shavings coming in this morning for bedding. We got 1,100 bales coming in here about a couple hours. So
okay,
there's a lot of people using that for bedding. So
yep, and that's so important when you get those kinds of temperatures out there. So Mike, we appreciate your time, and again, Okano open Monday through Friday, and then the store here is open Monday through part of Saturday, and all the
till 2 o'clock on Saturday. Yep.
Okay, still mixing up some different concoctions over at the elevator.
Oh yeah, the elevator's up and running. I can hear the truck rolling over here right now. They're mixing up some distillers and cracked corn, and yeah, all kind. We're making some hog feeds today and some chicken feeds, and yeah, we got whatever you need, we can make it.
All right. By the way, you look marvelous, as Bob Owes used to say, in the Custer County Chief.
Yeah, sure, Dave. Thank you.
That was a good story, though. That edition had a lot of producers in it and had you in it, and I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, pretty neat.
Yeah,
good articles.
All right, thanks, Mike.
Hey, thank you, guys.
Yep, take care.
You too.
Mike Evans, Evans Feed, Broken Bow, and Oconto. All right.
I'm sorry. I'm still trying to get over what he was talking about this, congressperson from New York?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. I guess you'd have to question that when you receive something like that, like Mike did. Well, this has to be kind of a joke or, some prank call, but evidently it didn't end up being a lot of hot air.
No, it sounds, I guess it would be natural gas, so you never know.
News is next.
You are listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Go, go, go! On KCNI, KPVN, Broken Bow, Nebraska.
CBS News Brief. Dr. Anthony Fauci syncs up with the president on estimates to have most Americans vaccinated against COVID by the end of July. He tells CBS.
The ultimate total amount of doses that J&J will get us, we're pretty confident that we're going to get the 100 million doses by the end of June, the beginning of July.
His earlier estimate was the end of April. Parts of the South bracing for another battering on the heels of a vicious winter storm, blamed for at least 17 deaths. CBS meteorologist Jeff Berardelli.
Ice once again, especially in East Texas, Louisiana, and then more ice tonight in Virginia and North Carolina.
Former MLB player turned McDonald's franchisee Herbert Washington is suing the company. CBS's Jennifer Kuiper.
He's suing the Chicago-based company, alleging it has steered him into buying franchises in low-income, majority black communities while denying him the chance to buy stores in more affluent locations and has forced him to sell several of his stores to white owners.
CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
Here was a look at state news. I'm Gavin Higgins. Nebraska added some new low temperature records just a day after setting several on Monday as a polar vortex pushed Arctic air into the plains. Lincoln recorded a temperature of minus 31, the second coldest temperature ever recorded in the capital city. Norfolk also saw a temperature of 31 below zero, a new record from the date and the coldest temperature in the city overall in 97 years. Omaha saw its coldest temperature since 1996. That followed a slew of records set on Monday. In Omaha, the temperature dropped to 15 below zero, breaking the old daily record of 12 below set on February 15, 1936. Lincoln hit 16 below overnight, breaking the previous low of 11 degrees Fahrenheit below zero set on February 15, 1978. In Hastings, the temperature fell to 26 below zero, the coldest day in the month of February in the city's history, and breaking the previous record of 22 below. North Platte saw a low of 29 below zero, shattering the previous February 15th record of minus 23 in 1881. Even with the record-breaking temperatures, none fell as low as Valentine in North Central Nebraska early Monday, which saw the mercury dip to 33 below zero. The Weather Service issued a wind chill advisory for the entire state, warning that even some moderate winds were expected to push the feels-like temperature as low as 50 below zero. Wind chills that low could result in frostbite on exposed skin in just minutes. The cold and the President's Day holiday led schools around the state to close in-person classes. Some were forced to close remote learning as well due to rolling power outages. Most of the state's wind chill advisory expired yesterday afternoon. Temperatures are expected to rise above zero today and into double digits, but still well below freezing later in the week.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Eddie Garcia.
In tennis at the Australian Open, second-seeded Rafael Nadal is out, losing a 5-set thriller to fifth-seeded Stefanos Tsitsipas from Greece. Tsitsipas moving on to the semifinals. Nadal, the 20-time major champ, is out down under. In the NBA, the Lakers played their first game without injured star Anthony Davis, who's out with a leg injury for a while. They still beat the Timberwolves 112-104. LeBron James, 30 points, 13 rebounds for L.A. Nets rally down 24 points on the road without Kevin Durant or Kyrie Irving, beat the Suns 128-124. James Harden had 38 points and 11 assists. Celtics beat the Nuggets 112-99 despite 43 points from Denver's Nikola Jokic. College basketball, number 5 Illinois beat Northwestern 73-66. It was Georgia knocking off number 20 Missouri 80-70, and number 24 Arkansas a winner over Florida 75-62.
Here's your weatherology forecast. For today, we'll see some partial sunshine developing with high temperatures into the upper teens. We'll have our winds staying light and variable. Then for tonight, mostly cloudy, a low of 3 below zero. Into the day on Thursday, lots of sunshine, working up to a high of 23. That moderating trend continuing for your Friday, sunny in the upper 20s, and by Saturday, a high of 37. For the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff meteorologist Michael Carroll.
Thank you, Michael. 4 minutes past the hour of 8 o'clock, 7 degrees above zero now under a cloudy sky. Kind of dark out there. Winds out of the south, 3 and 4 miles per hour. That puts your wind chills down there about 4 or 5 below right now. Barometric pressure is rising at 30.00, up 3 points in the last hour. Humidity at 86%. High temperature yesterday was 4 above, an overnight low of 1 above. Sunrise at 7:31 today, sunset at 6:14, sunrise tomorrow morning at 7:30. 56 hundredths precipitation measured in this month so far. 7 degrees, cloudy here at Broken Bow. Wind chills right at 5 below zero. Wind chill warning remains in effect until noon today. We should see temperatures, as we mentioned, in the teens, maybe 16 or 17 today, and then we'll make that progressive upward climb to more comfortable temperatures out there. And by Sunday, 30s, Monday and Tuesday, 40s. 40 will seem very warm, will it not?
Well, it'll feel great.
Yes. Zane Thompson went back to school, as he said he needed to do, so we appreciate him stopping by. He's going to shadow us for a while and do a little studying of broadcasting, and we hope that he benefits from that. Nice young man, and we'll look forward to having him back in the future, if not as soon as tomorrow. So that's where Zane went. We didn't kick him out or anything. He left on his own.
Yep.
Maybe he left and he said, "I can't do this," but we'll find out maybe tomorrow. Also, as we mentioned, we'll be visiting with Custer Federal State Bank, that towards the bottom of the hour. And we're going to be visiting with the Pizza Hut right after the 9 o'clock hour. And we have some things in between, such as the movies. Let's talk Fox Theater, formerly the Tiffany Theater. Now, we're lucky enough to have the Fox Theater here in Broken Bow with 3 theaters in one. Restrictions are pretty much off. The governor's pretty well lifted things. The popcorn is on, and so are the movies, and they've got some good ones going on at the Fox right now.
Yes, they do. As we take a look at what is showing, they have some newer films that are showing and also some films that have been around for a while that they're bringing back to the big screen and showing at a discounted price. One of them would be the movie Hidden Figures. It is currently showing. It's rated PG, and it's at a discounted price of $2 if you want to go in and take a look at it. It'll be showing tonight and tomorrow, and it looks like it'll continue through the weekend into next week as well at the Fox Theater. Also, The Little Things, a new movie starring Denzel Washington and a great cast. It is still showing at the I knew I was going to do that at the Fox Theater in Broken Bow. So check out The Little Things starring Denzel Washington. It is rated R, and it will continue to show tonight, tomorrow, and then on through the weekend into next week. They're also showing a film called Come Play. It's rated PG-13, and it will show, looks like, tonight and tomorrow. So just a couple of days left to check that one out. It's called Come Play, and it's showing at the Fox Theater for a couple of more nights. Then as we go into the weekend, into next week, they've got a new movie coming, and it's Croods 2. Now, this is fairly new. Croods, of course, was an animated film that was a big hit, and now they've come out with a sequel, and they will show it at the Fox Theater in Broken Bow. Croods 2, A New Age, starting on Friday and running through the weekend into next week. Always encourage you to go to their website, which is, I believe, watchthefoxnow.com, and you can check out what is coming and what is showing at the Fox Theater in Broken Bow. So check it out.
Thank you, Brent. This just in, we'll be visiting with Ryan Krantz this morning. He is in the Kearney Bank for Custer Federal. He's the vice president there. He is also the son of Pat and Dee Krantz from Ansley, America. And I think you've visited with him before. I was out doing a remote or something. I heard you visiting with before, and very knowledgeable. A lot of activity in the house buying and selling arena right now, so we'll find out some things about that.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what Ryan specializes in, is the home mortgages and things. So, yeah, it'd be good to talk to him and, find out if he has any idea how low these rates will stay when it comes to home lending. So, and I know that's kept all the bankers very busy with refinancing and all of that. So
it sure has, plus all of the governmental activities through the pandemic relief that was released for agriculturalists out there where it wasn't so much before. So, yeah, they've really been busy, and this time of year is busy anyway with tax time and all of that going on. So it'll be fun to talk with Ryan and figure out what's going on at the Kearney Bank and here at Custer Federal State Bank in both Kearney and Broken Bow, Nebraska. Little music from Bruce Springsteen here this morning. I should update you, Brent. You know, I mentioned CBS had a note that Bruce Springsteen was picked up for DUI in November. And the story is unfolding, which is really kind of interesting. He wasn't on was driving a motorcycle,
Mhm.
and he was in I believe New Jersey, and he's kind of known for this particular area, stopping and taking pictures with fans and visiting with them, and the fans offered him a shot of tequila, and he admitted he had drank 2 shots of tequila, and the officer who arrested him said, "Are you going to drive this motorcycle?" And evidently he said, "Yeah, I just have my pictures with the fans," and I think his blood level was 0.02 or something like that. It was pretty low as far as the amount of alcohol in his system. And the policeman says he smelt just like he'd been drinking a large amount of alcohol. Well, anybody that's been around tequila, you only need one to smell like you've been drinking a lot of it. It's pretty high powered, and he probably shouldn't have told the policeman he was going to get on the motorcycle and go home. Plus, the fact that the area that these people were at and offering him that shot was a park, restricted for alcohol.
Oh,
so
well, that doesn't help.
No, so the story is going to unfold, and I guess when they made him walk the line, he walked way longer than they asked him to, just to, I'm good. But he probably broke the law. But I think the first story made it sound like he was a swirling drunk and was driving an automobile somewhere. And I don't think he'd even been on his motorcycle yet. He just said, "Yeah, I'm going to drive home." And they must have had an altercation. So they said it's very common in this area for him to be stopped by fans and have his picture taken with him. And so I think it'll be interesting to see how that turns out. I believe he'll go to court later this month. So the boss maybe wasn't swirly intoxicated. It may have been, he may have still broke the law and may have to pay a fine. And if he was over the limit, I'm sure that should stick, I think.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was quite as it was painted. Plus, now the company, the Jeep company, is taking some real criticism for pulling all the ads that they had created. The one that they made for the Super Bowl, they were going to run that, of course, afterwards. Like you see a lot of commercials running again after the Super Bowl. They pulled that one, and so now they're taking some heat for that. But they have that right, too.
Yep.
But I don't know. Get to that point in your career, you could think you're bulletproof, but I don't believe that was really the case.
I don't think anyone is anymore.
Well, now wait a minute. It kind of depends on how high up you go. As far as I think stardom doesn't get you off, but if there's certain people that seem to be able to get in trouble and get out.
Ah, well.
I'm going to put my fingers together here.
Huh.
Lots and lots of money. Money, money, money. Anyway, here's Bruce Springsteen.
kind of, if the sun comes out, today might actually feel like one if it's going to be in the teens above zero.
Right on. Going to be good traveling weather for the wrestling fanatics, Brent Apperson and Kurt Crawley, headed to Omaha.
That's our plan.
What time are you leaving?
Right when this show is over.
Okay. All right. Be sure and compliment Mr. Crawley on his hair or maybe a shirt or something, because
Why?
it's Random Kindness Day.
I don't think that just giving compliments to people is what this day is about. I think it's actually you're actually to do something. Now, if we get to state wrestling, and let's say Kirk is up high above at the CHI Health Center,
yes,
getting ready to broadcast a match, and he goes, "Oh man, Brent, I am so thirsty." I would say, Mr. Crawley, just stay right here. I'll go downstairs. I'll get you a bottle of water, and I'll be right back. Now, that would be a random act of kindness. Or really, probably the random part would come in when I would see that Mr. Crawley didn't have a bottle of water. I would know that he would probably need one, considering how many hours he's going to be talking this evening.
Mm-hmm.
And then without him asking, I just went and got him one and then brought it back. That is an act of kindness. Just saying, boy, Mr. Crowley, that's a nice shirt today. I don't think that's what this day is about.
I disagree.
I'm just saying.
I disagree, but that's all right. We disagree on a few things. But if you do go get him something for his throat, I think a shot of tequila would really help.
Really? Okay.
But don't give him two, just one.
Okay.
I don't know if you can get one. Probably don't sell that at a high school.
No, I don't think so. And I'm certainly not going to sneak any in. So
I would be really surprised if you did, Brent.
Yeah, ain't happening.
It's not happening. One of the things I wanted to highlight, and I'll just go out on an island here a little bit, but I don't think you'll disagree with me on this. I want to highlight the fact that our coverage of wrestling is in person, real time. And I think people know that and notice that. But I just want to highlight the fact that last weekend, Mr. Crawley and Brent covered the districts for 9 hours straight live.
Yeah, I think it was about 9 hours we were on the air, yes.
Every moment was in real time. You heard it as the guys spoke and brought the live action to you. That's called play-by-play. That's called radio broadcasting. And I appreciate so much that you guys can do this. And I know every year people go, gosh, it's so good that you're there to call it for us, especially the athletes, the wrestlers who may not make it into the final rounds. Again, that's always been our philosophy. Cover all the kids that you can. We happen to have a couple of radio stations that we can maneuver, and we have businesses that are okay with us moving commercial inventory to let us do those sorts of things. And I just wanted to highlight the fact that we are the station that you really get live wrestling coverage on. And I know that as you travel across the state, you'll hear radio stations say, we'll be giving you updates. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. They're looking at the computer and giving you updates off the computer in many cases, most cases, sitting in their office or studios in their radio stations. We send the guys, you guys out there pay the guys and the businesses support these kind of broadcasts, and I think it's something that we should highlight and make clear that you guys aren't sitting. You have a computer there so you can watch things, and as they come up and get ready to wrestle, it helps you call the matches. But we still offer good old-fashioned, real play-by-play during wrestling that started at KBBN many years ago, thanks to Mr. Patch and Mr. Crawley and Mr. Seibert and you and Larry. And I think that covers the folks who have been willing to sit all day and cover wrestling, and all night and cover wrestling, and be there for the whole thing and highlight the kids that do their very, very best to get to the finals, even if they don't, semifinals and finals. So,
well, we certainly enjoy being there. And just to go back to what you were saying, you mentioned Mick Patch, Kirk Crawley. We are so blessed to have guys like this. They can call the match, and that's why we do it, because we have been blessed with guys who have come alongside us and can describe the action because they know the sport so incredibly well. I'm gaining. I'm learning a lot, and I've so enjoyed learning the sport and can't wait to get down to Omaha. But because of Mr. Patch, Mr. Seibert, who helped us, I think, when we first got started doing this, and Mr. Crawley, as you mentioned, guys who have been around the sport, know the language of the sport, they really bring something special to what we're able to do. So we appreciate them, and we certainly appreciate the businesses that allow us to go all the way to Omaha and do that for, well, what's going to be 4 days this year. So we'll be on the air tonight. Class A is getting ready to wrestle, I think, at 9 o'clock this morning. But certainly with our area that we cover, we don't really have anyone in Class A. So we'll be on the air tonight. That's when Class D will go on the mats. And they'll start their opening round at 5 o'clock tonight. There's going to be a lot. I think we got 4 rounds with how we're going to do it tonight. You'll have the first round. We'll wrestle the quarterfinals, and I think we're going to try to get through the first and second round of consolations tonight. So it's going to be kind of fast and furious, and we'll be there to cover all of our Class D area kids beginning tonight, and then those kids will wrestle again. Some of them will wrestle again on Thursday, tomorrow, and the championship matches of Class D will be at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. So we'll be with you tonight. Tomorrow, I think Class D begins at 1 o'clock in the afternoon with the semifinals and the medal matches before we get to the gold medal at 7 o'clock. And then on Friday and Saturday, Classes B and C will take center stage. And, of course, Broken Bow will be competing in Class B. That'll be early in the morning on Friday.
Okay.
Broken Bow wrestlers will start at 9 o'clock on Friday morning. So that's our plan. We'll be there all 4 days and can't wait to get down there and see how the kids perform.
All right. And, of course, because of the weather, basketball was changed up a little bit. You covered Broken Bow Lady Indians last night. They move on after a stunning performance last night. We listened to your call last night. They sounded so sharp and
shot the ball real well.
Yeah. And Coach Kelly seemed very, very excited that they're peaking at the right time. They have the confidence. They've been down this road a few times now, so that's very encouraging. And then we have matchups tonight that were to be played last night that I think Gavin and Larry are going to cover, correct?
Yeah, I know Gavin for sure, and not sure if Larry will be able to join or not. But anyway, they'll be covered. Now, the one thing we do want to stress is because of our wrestling coverage tonight, which is going to be on KBBN, all the wrestling is on KBBN, 95.3 FM and KBBN.com. Want to stress that. Because of state wrestling tonight and because they moved the basketball, we will do the Anselmo Myrna versus Sand Hills Valley game at 5:30, followed by Ansley Litchfield against Maxwell, those games at the D110 Subdistrict Tournament. We're going to broadcast those and move them to KCNI now. Mm-hmm. So that'll be 1280 AM and 96.3 FM. Now, because of when the games start at 5:30 and then obviously beyond, because of that, due to FCC regulations, our AM station kind of keeps dropping down in power during the course of the evening and will ultimately have to sign off at 8 o'clock. Now, we will run everything on 96.3 FM, which is 24 hours. But, again, because of FCC regulations, it can only go out so far, 96.3 FM. So we really want to stress that you can access those games tonight from the D110 Subdistrict on our website, kcni1280.com, and you can also access them on the free KCNI Pure Country app.
Yep, and we listened to your coverage last night on my phone in the living room. Mm-hmm. It's as good as a radio. Now, I did mention earlier that in the wrestling, radio's always amazed me because the second you say something, it's in the people's ears through the radio. There is just a little bit of delay through the digital format. So if you have a radio on in the kitchen and you have your phone on in the living room, you'll notice that delay. And it varies from connection to connection. But it's as close to real time as you can get digitally and real time on the radio. So you can get it on KCNI anywhere in the world and anywhere here in our listening area. Now, as far as 96.3 FM goes, I can typically get it in my car to the turnoff road from Dunning to Arnold, and then it kind of goes away.
Yeah, in your car.
In the car, and I've got it further than that, all the way up, the road, depending on weather conditions, and a little less effective going east because the direction that those antennas are pointed. Certainly, Mason City, you start noticing a little fall off in the car, but in your home, you'll not be too far out of Broken Bow and not be able to get it. So just fire up that app.
Yep. There you
or
go.
your computer, and you'll be able to listen to those games just fine. We appreciate your understanding there, and it's so great to have all these avenues to be able to do that with. We didn't used to be able to do that. The other thing is Christy was just in, and I would say I made a complete fool of myself, but that doesn't really bother me very much at all. As I
don't think you made a fool of yourself.
Well, I saw my text, and I saw that we were going to be visiting with Ryan Krantz down in Kearney. That text was in January, and I think you actually, interviewed Ryan then, and I was out and about. So today, I believe, correction, we'll be talking with my son Paul Burney again.
Oh, good.
Here this morning, rather than Ryan Krantz. Although Ryan's still the son of
yes, he
the
is.
Krantzes in Ansley, and so hopefully we'll get to talk to him sometime as well.
All right, sounds good.
Mike and Dee, nice people. Kind of my age, my wife and I's age. We kind of. Well, the Ansley guys used to come up and date all the Broken Bow girls.
Did they?
Yeah, Mike was one of those guys that would come up and steal a Broken Bow chick away once in a while. Finally, he found Dee and got him all straightened out.
Yeah.
I probably stepped in it again. Let's help Tammy Phillips, second grade teacher and twin loop volleyball coach, fighting cancer again. Darn it. A Facebook page named Tammy Phillips Virtual Benefit has been set up to raise money to help with medical expenses, travel, food, lodging, and so forth. So visit that page. There's different ideas on how to help Tammy. And there's also an account established at the First National Bank in Sargent, and you can donate electronically through Venmo. That information can be found also on that Facebook page. Also, a thank you to Viara Wireless this morning for being part of the breakfast show and making our streaming available and our broadcast work during our remote broadcast, both out and about doing businesses and ball games, and allowing us to video stream. I think the first time we worked with them was the Custer County Fair for like 3 days of coverage under the covered arena, which went over really well, and that's how this partnership developed. Stop in and see them here in Broken Bow. They're located at 841 South D Street, or you can call 872-1535 here in town. There's also a national number, 877-484-2376. Also, Brent, we want to let you know we could still see some rolling outages today yet. Through this afternoon even. NPPD stated that rolling outages will be longer when you have one. When you have one, it might last more like 45 minutes. All right, Kristen, I like your ponytail, your braid. That's kindness. That's an act of kindness.
That's a compliment.
That's kind.
It's not an act of kindness. It was a compliment, though.
Okay, here's this just in. Off of Custer Public Power's Facebook. If and when rolling blackouts start today, and if the blackouts go like yesterday, plan on an hour-and-a-half outage. and be prepared. It will come unexpected, as they explained yesterday. They can't tell you when they're going to happen and where they're going to happen. They have to be fluid and make those changes depending on the situation. Like yesterday, they could start with the southwestern part of the Custer Power service territory from the Callaway and Stapleton delivery points and move to the northeastern part of the service territory up around Thedford and through Broken Bow here. The rolling blackouts will happen quickly. When they do, you're still asked to report your outage at 1-888-749-2453. That's 1-888-749-2453. And get some water ahead, kind of get yourself prepared. And, of course, it is daylight, so that helps. You don't have so much trouble with the darkness. But for you older folks out there, a staircase that's dark and so forth, have a flashlight with you. Have some blankets ready. It's not as bitter cold as it was yesterday, but we're kind of, it's all relative. You know, right now, wind chill's probably 5 to 10 below, and normally we'd be thinking that's awful. But we're improving, but we could still have those blackouts.
Okay.
That's an update. All right, it's 8:33. Shall we contact Paul Burney at Custer Federal?
I think we should.
Now that we've got that straightened out, we're not contacting Ryan Krantz in Kearney Bank.
No.
Oh, he is still the son of Dee and Mike Krantz in Ansley.
Yes.
By the way, I wanted to, before we went any further, I misinterpreted a happy birthday wish to you the other day.
Misinterpreted?
Well,
what do you mean?
I looked up here and I saw Jeannie Rapp, and she was wishing you a happy birthday.
Oh, well, thank you. Appreciate that.
In my bumbled mind, I thought of Mrs. Rapp, who used to live here, and she now lives down south.
Oh.
And she calls Party Line every once in a while.
I see.
But I think Jeannie is the one who sent it from Ansley, America.
Oh, okay.
I just wanted you to know that, Jeannie.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, she's a sweet young lady, and she likes you. I don't know exactly why, but she wanted to wish you a happy birthday, and I misrepresented her, and I apologize for that.
Okay.
And sometimes an apology can be an act of kindness.
Okay. If you say so.
I think so far this is only Wednesday, and I've spent a good share of the first half of the week apologizing for things I either messed up or did.
Yeah. You and I are both pretty good at that, aren't we?
It's getting to be kind of a bad habit.
Yeah.
To tell you the truth. All right, we'll take a time out. We'll be back right after these words.
You're listening to Central Nebraska's news source. A reminder for you regarding the cold temperatures and the power situation locally, regionally, and in the central United States area. Southwest Power Pool has asked its member utilities, including Custer Public Power, to implement controlled interruptions of service to prevent further, more widespread and uncontrolled outages. These outages will be taking place for the foreseeable future and cannot be predicted. Your local utility does want to know when you have an outage, though, in case it is not related. Custer Public Power customers can call 1-888-749-2453 to report an outage. As this multi-state power emergency continues, we are being asked to conserve energy by lowering thermostats to 68 degrees, unplugging electronics not being used, shutting off lights when not in the room, using a crock pot instead of the oven, and being resourceful in conserving energy. Please stay tuned to KCNI KBBN Radio and SandhillsExpress.com for updates.
Don't let winter weather and the fear of falling keep you stranded for the season. Poor balance doesn't have to be a consequence of aging. Pearson Physical Therapy has been helping their patients stay on their feet and take back their independence through individualized balance training programs. Reduce your chance for falls and regain your confidence this winter by calling 872-5800 for a free fall risk assessment from Pearson Physical Therapy, offering clinic, home, and telemedicine visits. Don't fall, give Pearson's a call at 872-5800.
Psst. Hey, you. Yeah, you. Hold on. I'm not sure why I was whispering. The savings Nate and Jack at Universal Insurance are seeing when people switch is not a secret. They have several insurance companies you can choose from for your commercial business, farm, and personal auto. They've moved it all. Why not save money while getting great coverage at the same time, backed by a couple of guys who have your back? Talk to Nate and Jack at Universal Insurance in Broken Bow today and insure your universe.
It is 8:37, and we do have Paul Burney on the line. I'm going to tell you the truth here, Brent, before we bring Paul up. He was hell on wheels when he was a young boy. You know those three-wheelers with the big front wheel on them?
Oh, the big wheel, yeah.
The big wheel?
Absolutely. You know, I got to be honest, I was...
you pretty good?
I was pretty impressive, pretty fast on them things, too.
Well, could you spin around with it? Cause, Paul.
I had one with the brake on the side tire.
Oh,
you know, where you could go around when you were going around the block, you'd hit the 90-degree turn, and you'd slam on that thing on the back tire and do a spin. Oh yeah, I was good at that.
I don't believe Paul had the brake. I think he was without that tool. Let's find out.
Okay.
That was an upscale model. We didn't have that one.
No.
Oh, well.
I don't remember you pulling a handle, but I do remember you spinning around in many places around the neighborhood.
Yeah, I didn't have the handle. You said to, really lock your feet up and put the brakes on.
Yeah.
Kind of throw a hip.
Oh yeah. How many? How long did it take you to? I always burned a hole in the front tire.
I did.
That was
one of them, if not two, but for sure one.
Oh.
Yeah.
When you were
sure there's. What's this?
Well, when you were doing that, Paul, when you were spinning around, were you thinking about becoming a leader at Custer Federal State Bank? When you...
No, that was not probably at any point in my plans for a long time.
Do we still
I didn't have that. I didn't have that vision of being in banking at that, at 4 or 5 probably.
Excuse me. Do we still have the big wheel? Do they still make the big wheel?
I don't know. Oliver
I don't know
has
either.
One that's not a big wheel. It's kind of like this little shifty big wheel with small wheels on the back, so you can just do the spins whenever you want, and you don't burn out a tire.
Because a lot of these things now they're like an actual car, where you has a battery and everything, and you don't have to pedal.
Oh yeah.
You don't have to pedal anymore. I don't know why.
Yeah. Grandma and Grandpa got Oliver one of those babies.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, we had a Jeep. He put a lot of miles on that Jeep.
Yeah.
I tell you. Yeah.
I kind of had a crush on a girl way back in the day that lived on our block, and I would always. No, this was back when I was very young, and I'd always spin out on the big wheel right there
in front of her
by
place.
her house. Oh yeah.
Well, to show both of you boys how things changed, if you wanted to impress, or at least you thought you were going to impress the neighbor girl or maybe the girl down the block, you didn't have three-wheelers. You had a bicycle, and you would put cards on so that it would sound like you had a motor on it.
Yeah.
That was pretty impressive.
Can a person, let's say a youngster 4 or 5 years old, wants to invest in a big wheel, can they can they come to Custer Federal State Bank and talk to you, Paul?
I'd encourage them to start a savings account.
Oh, okay. That's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Or better yet, Paul, just have them plead with their grandparents.
Or that.
Yeah.
Go to Grandpa State Bank and get hooked up. Probably some pretty low interest rates there.
Oh, yeah. Free loan. Yeah. Well, we know you're busy there because this time of year is busy anyway, and you have these low interest rates that you can offer, and you have these government programs due to pandemic and other things. So we'll get down to business here. How is all of that going? Where we're working towards tax deadlines and all that sort of thing.
As far as tax deadlines are concerned, I think probably area accountants and CPAs are slightly frustrated. At this point, I don't think they've been able to file any tax returns. So lot of years ends, carryover from 2020, just getting everybody's income and expenses recorded and accounted for. And it's kind of duplicate process for us because we ask for essentially the same information that the accountants do to help build our cash flows for our borrowers. And so just some overlap there. In respect to what we're busy with, we're still kind of working through some of the tail end of the PPP loans. I know we're still processing several. The big surge is we're probably through that point now, but still working on that. We've got our ag operating renewals, and then looking at a lot of FSA guaranteed loans, just not just in Custer County, but around the state for borrowers that are looking to get some long-term fixed interest rates out to 30 years. And so we've been busy in all those respects, and then throw this home mortgage environment on top of that, and it's good to be busy. I'll say that. There's no downtime.
Yeah, we've had the reports from our business partners in the realty business, and the houses are moving, and the one thing that they always mention is be sure and go see your banker before you go deal on the house and kind of get your ducks in a row. And I know that's appreciated on your end as well.
I think it's a good idea for sure. Sometimes it's best to kind of sit down with your banker and our mortgage officer and kind of get a good feel for what you qualify for or what's affordable. What you're qualified for and what's affordable sometimes are two different things. Sometimes it's more than a person wants to bite off, and we always want to try to encourage people to, be responsible and try to live within means, but also live their best life. So trying to manage all that and help provide good service for those people. So, yeah, we do try to serve as a resource.
Mm-hmm. You were talking about the tax time and not being able to do all the paperwork yet. I wonder sometimes about making those decisions on how do I want to put this, depreciation and deductions and so forth. For some reason, I always bring this up. We're very patriotic people in this part of the country, but we just and all across the country, nobody likes to pay taxes. For some reason, that's just a real burr in our saddle, and I know sometimes we do some things that might not be the smartest thing to do business-wise to get those deductions, because we still have to pay back money that we borrow. We still have to come up with cash flow and so forth. And I wonder if that's something that you guys talk about with your customers sometimes.
Definitely. There's, lowering taxable income level and managing a sustainable business that remains profitable sometimes are not the same. Mm-hmm. And so I'll go back to what Jim Varney told me years and years and years ago, that sometimes it's just best to pay the taxes because it means you're making money, first of all.
Right.
Secondly, trying to depreciate out your way out of paying the government taxes puts you in a position where you have to then continue to make that payment for whatever item you purchased. If you're not in a position to just pay cash for it and you're borrowing the money, then it's a perennial obligation. Mm-hmm. And not knowing from year to year in agriculture, sometimes, obviously, last year's a perfect example. We started with $3 corn and ended up with roughly $5 corn, and it could easily go the other way. So, that's just part of the planning process that we try to coordinate and manage with our borrowers. Again, as I said earlier, in the home mortgage process, just trying to be a resource and manage that business accordingly. I think that's always one thing to keep in mind, that whether it's ranching or farming, it's still a business, and the goal in the end is still to make profits. And so our intentions are to try to help facilitate that as best as possible.
Well, I think it goes for agriculture and it goes for regular businesses as well. Do you really need that, or are you just buying that to avoid paying taxes, or do you want to have that loan for that long of a time to avoid paying taxes? Those are all some things that you have to consider, and I know that you guys talk with your customers about that from what you've said there, Paul. But I was wondering about what do you think about a Harley Davidson at the end of the year here for the radio station? We could use that to go do remotes.
Who's going to ride it?
Well, I'd like to try.
Can we
I see Jeremy on one, maybe. Brent doesn't visually fit on a Harley for me for some reason.
But can't you? But Paul, can't you see me in the sidecar?
Perfect.
Yeah,
with a little hat.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Well, something to think about. That's
Kinda
for
like
sure.
It's like every which way but loose.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, no kidding. All right. Well, hey, what else would you like to highlight before we close? We've been talking and having a little fun here this morning, but again, it's a busy time for you. Anything you want to highlight out there? I know the checking account that you have has gone over really big for people who like interest on their checking account.
Yeah, it's probably as far as a place to put money right now in the banking system to actually get some earned interest. It's one of the best games in town, and that's the Kasasa account, and it does pay interest. I think I don't have that in front of me at this time, but roughly my recollection is it's around 1.75 or 1.78% now.
Mm-hmm.
There's just some basic qualifiers that a person has to achieve every month in order to obtain that interest rate, and it's things that people are already doing with their checking accounts, and it's 12 debit card purchases a month and logging into online banking once during that cycle. So, as far as looking for a place to get a return on some cash right now, that's about as good a place as any. And aside from that, we have money markets and CDs, but where we're at in the rate environment at this time, those I hate to be too negative about things, but there's just not a lot of return on those rates. It's
right.
just the environment we're in at this stage, and so that Kasasa checking account is advantageous right now.
That's very flexible, as you said. You use it a little bit. That's all you got to do. And then the nice thing, very accessible. You don't have to go through a lot of hoops, to get the money back out if you need it, which sometimes can be a problem with some of those other platforms.
I think, we as people like to have access to our cash when we want it, and this is one way to do it. And sometimes either using fixed time deposits or other investments takes away that kind of liquidity factor and ease of access. And the Kasasa accounts and the money market accounts allow for that, ease of transfer and ease of use and ease of access. So
all right,
there's definitely some advantages there.
All right, Paul, thanks so much. Appreciate it. Hope you have a great rest of your week. And I know Grandma Joan was pretty happy this morning because Oliver stopped over for breakfast. That always makes her day before a late start at school. So she's happy.
I think they're both loving these 10 o'clock starts. So
They sure are. They sure are. Thanks, Paul.
Yeah, thank you, guys. Have a great day.
Yep. All right, Paul Burney, Vice President of the bank there at Custer Federal State Bank, and even though he wasn't thinking about being a banker while he was on that Hot Wheel, he ended up, Big Wheels, ended up enjoying this very much. He likes it, and all of the people at the bank like working with you folks out there, and they'll do the best to give you the information and help you find the right avenues for your specific business needs or personal things that you need.
Yep, well said.
Let's see here. It's 8:51. I have not made any mistakes in the last 10 minutes that I'm aware of, so I don't have any apologies to make at this point. But
that's good.
Wait till the end of the show. There'll be a couple along the way, probably.
It's kind of what society is now, though, isn't it? You just say you're sorry. Move on.
Or do it and don't say you're sorry.
Well, that too.
It's a little different. Hey, we want to talk a little bit real quick about some things. I wanted to kind of run down the schedule here. At 9 o'clock, we'll have a little weather and news. We'll have the wrestling report that Brent put together with Coach Schaaf. That should be a good one before we actually have coverage today, live coverage. And then following that, we'll have the Pizza Hut. Then we'll have the wrestling report. And then we'll have a conversation with city officials that Gavin is going to do this morning. Dan Knoll will be in. and I believe he's bringing some other folks along with him, and we'll air that interview back to you to conclude the breakfast show. So we'll go long. We'll probably go almost to 10 o'clock, but they do have some updates on the power situation. So we're going to have pizza, wrestling, and power.
And power. There you go.
All coming up on the breakfast show. But right now, let's talk fish. The Dairy Queen. I've just had a hard time driving by yesterday with my steering wheel. It was like a bite. I was going down the highway, and it was like a nibble, a bite. And I was waiting, for the strike to pull me in because I had that big desire to go in and try out that shrimp and those fish sandwiches. And I may just do that today because Craig Safranek has been fishing.
Yes, the Lenten season is upon us, and Dairy Queen in Broken Bow wants you to know that their shrimp basket is here again. I've had this. It's good. A little popcorn shrimp, just perfect.
Yeah.
Have it with your favorites, fries, and either toast or coleslaw. Make sure to stop in from now until Easter to have this tasty meal. And they also want to remind you that they carry the fish sandwich all year long. So you can get the shrimp basket now. They carry the fish sandwich. And if you haven't yet, swing by and have their Alaskan fish sandwich, too. Lent season is in full swing at Dairy Queen in Broken Bow, where happy tastes good.
More after these words.
The Secret Garden. Shop with them and get ready for spring and usher winter out the door. They have between 30 and 60% marked down on Secret Garden decor, just excluding willow tree and candles. Antiques are 20% off too. Romans chapter 12, verse 2. Don't copy the behavior and customs of this world, but let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Located 2 1/4 miles west of Myrna on Highway 92 and a half a mile north, The Secret Garden.
Since 1917, Nebraska State Bank has been helping Custer County and its neighbors progress with innovative products and superior service. And they are here with you, helping you achieve your goals, reinvesting in our area by involvement, leadership, and donation as a means to help others strive and succeed and to further invest in our communities. With all of their locations here in Custer County, Nebraska State Bank is proud to serve you in Callaway, Myrna, and 2 locations in Broken Bow, and online anywhere all the time at nesb.bank. Nebraska State Bank, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
For those 62 years of age and for those that are handicapped or disabled regardless of their age, the Grand Generation Manor in Callaway has affordable housing available. An equal housing opportunity provider and employer. They're located at 200 South Grand Avenue in Callaway. The Grand Generation Manor.
The winter clearance continues this week at Bo Bootery on the Square. We've marked 40% off of our winter merchandise. There's plenty of cold weather left, so you can wear your purchase now or save it for next year. Snow boots, bear paws, Nordic wraps, fashion boots, lined leggings, tights, some slippers, socks, and shoes too. Put the sandals away, it's still winter. Come save 40% with us at Bo Bootery in Broken Bow.
Are your aches and pains preventing you from doing the things you love? Call Team Physical Therapy, 872-5111. We offer complete one-on-one physical therapy for you. Call Team Physical Therapy, 872-5111. Team Physical Therapy is known as the best hands in town, and we will help you achieve your goals and keep you moving in 2021. Call Team Physical Therapy, 872-5111, or check us out on the web at myteampt.com.
Thank you, Mary. It's 8:56. We do want to remind you again that the rolling blackouts will begin today, and we just received additional information on that. They'll probably start right after 9 o'clock. Now, where they'll be and, what order they're in, no one really knows. But this will be something that we can expect today from 9 a.m. throughout the day. And you want to plan on longer outages when you do have one. If there's no mechanical problems, set that aside. But if it's just the rollout, it's going to be about an hour and a half outage. So prepare for the unexpected. This is through the southwestern part of Custer Power Service Territory, Callaway, Stapleton. They think it'll start there and move northeastward to the territory of Thadford through Broken Bow. So when those blackouts occur, they'll happen quickly, but call them anyway. 1-888-749-2453 to report your outage. They want to know. Of course, you might call, and they'll be backed up on the calls, but they want you to keep calling and get in so they can chart and map what's going on out there, because no one really knows exactly where they're going to be and at what time, and they're going to be longer today, that's for sure. So, I don't know about you, I could sure go for a special cup of coffee. You know what I'm saying? Like something maybe with a little more punch to it, a little more kick, a little more pizzazz, something that kind of just is a little beyond just a straight cup of Java.
Double shot of espresso?
Yes.
Yeah? Brewbaker's Coffee House and Gifts in Arnold, that'd be the place to go. They're open Tuesday through Friday, 8 to 5, open on Saturday from 9 until 3. Now, the ladies recently got back from market, so they got some new things in the gift area. We encourage you to check those out. Have some neat candles that are kind of new, and they are Callian candles, and this company carries beautifully scented candles that fill your home with wonderful and welcoming fragrances. And kind of a neat side note to this, 5% of the Callian revenue is donated to their trusted nonprofit partner working to give freedom back to those trapped in human trafficking. So check those candles out, now available at Brewbaker's Coffee House and Gifts. Warm up with hot teas, herbal teas, and coffee drinks. And, boy, they have these bagels that are delicious, too. Mm-hmm. They got delicious treats and drinks for you to enjoy at Brewbaker's Coffee House and Gifts in Arnold. So coffee with a friend, it's always a good idea. And there's no better place to have coffee with a friend than at Brewbaker's Coffee House and Gifts in Arnold.
Plus, there could be a Brad Atkins sighting while you're there. He might make a celebrity stop, so that's a bonus as well. News right after these words.
There's still time to set new goals for 2021. Bank smarter and stretch your dollar further with Premier Checking from Bruning Bank. With Premier Checking, you earn interest on your account for completing simple actions you already do. Currently have an account with us? Transitioning takes less than a minute. Interested in setting up a new account? Sign up is quick and easy. Stop in or call one of our friendly customer service representatives to get started. Visit bruningbank.com for rates and details. Bruning Bank, member FDIC.
Ansley Lumber and Supply is proud to be your full-service lumber yard. From premium lumber and top-quality building materials to paint, tools, and ag supplies. When you drop by Ansley Lumber, their crew is prepared to help you with your project. From the materials for building a house to the accessories and pieces needed to make it a home. Ansley Lumber hopes you stop by to talk to them about your dream project. Ansley Lumber and Supply, Main Street, Ansley, or call 308-935-1815.
There are many good reasons to pre-select your family memorial. During the months of January and February, Palmer Monument Company is giving you one more good reason. Their annual winter sale. Come and see them today with the coupon from the newspaper and receive additional savings off their already reduced prices.
Hi, this is Chris Smith with the Palmer Monument Company. It's our goal to assist you in selecting the memorial that best fits your family needs. And with our sale, we'll save you money too.
During the annual winter sale at Palmer Monument Company in Lexington and Broken Bow.
You are listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Go, go, go! On KCNI, KPVN, Broken Bow, Nebraska.
CBS News Brief. Millions of Texans are still shivering after the electricity went out during this week's deadly winter snowstorm. Denistra Hunt among the powerless.
We spent the night pretty much in the cold, which is something I've never done. With a 2-year-old, it was dreadful. We all just got in one bed and covered up.
Dr. Anthony Fauci syncs up with President Biden's updated estimate on getting most Americans vaccinated for COVID by late July. He tells CBS this morning.
The doses that we were expecting earlier from the J&J likely will not be available for another couple of months.
Breaking news from Britain. A senior royal is under the weather.
It's a great pleasure to see you here tonight.
Buckingham Palace says the Queen's husband, 99-year-old Prince Philip, has been admitted to the hospital in London as a precautionary measure. A statement says he will remain there for a few days of observation and rest. CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Deb Carson.
Number 2 men's seed Rafael Nadal is out at the Australian Open. Nadal led by 2 sets but was stunned by number 5 seed Stefanos Tsitsipas of Greece, who rallied to win in 5 sets. So Tsitsipas is on to the semifinals. Top women's seed Ash Barty was upset in 3 sets, so she's out of the tournament. In football news, potential top overall NFL draft pick Trevor Lawrence had successful surgery to repair his injured left shoulder and will need 5 to 6 months to recover. In the NBA, the Lakers were without injured star Anthony Davis, but LeBron James put up 30 points and 13 rebounds. LA beat the Timberwolves 112-104. And the Nets were without Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, but Brooklyn rallied from 24 down to beat the Suns in Phoenix 128-124. James Harden led Brooklyn. He had 38 points, 11 assists.
Here's your weatherology forecast. For today, we'll see some partial sunshine developing with high temperatures into the upper teens. We'll have our winds staying light and variable. Then for tonight, mostly cloudy, a low of 3 below zero. Into the day on Thursday, lots of sunshine, working up to a high of 23. That moderating trend continuing for your Friday, sunny in the upper 20s, and by Saturday, a high of 37. For the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff meteorologist Michael Carroll.
8 degrees under a cloudy sky.
You're listening to Central Nebraska's news source. A reminder for you regarding the cold temperatures and the power situation locally, regionally, and in the central United States area. Southwest Power Pool has asked its member utilities, including Custer Public Power, to implement controlled interruptions of service to prevent further, more widespread and uncontrolled outages. These outages will be taking place for the foreseeable future and cannot be predicted. Your local utility does want to know when you have an outage, though, in case it is not related. Custer Public Power customers can call 1-888-749-2453 to report an outage. As this multi-state power emergency continues, we are being asked to conserve energy by lowering thermostats to 68 degrees, unplugging electronics not being used, shutting off lights when not in the room, using a crock pot instead of the oven, and being resourceful in conserving energy. Please stay tuned to KCNI KBBN Radio and SandhillsExpress.com for updates.
And again, be prepared for those rolling outages. They are expected that those will start sometime after the 9 o'clock hour this morning, so just a few moments away. And again, not exactly sure when you'll have one, if you'll have one, and where you'll have an outage. But they do want you to plan on longer ones if you do have an outage up to an hour and a half long. Hopefully the NPPT substations will go back online as they should. But there's, a lot of maneuvering going on out there. So thanks for all your patience as this polar vortex moves out and this warmer weather moves in. Today should about take care of it. But they have all those problems down south. They're not used to the cooler weather. To us, it's not cold weather, but to those folks conditioned to warmer temperatures down there, they've been cranking it up to some pretty substantial temperatures.
Yeah. I have a feeling that folks down south used to warmer climate. When it got cold, they probably didn't just set their thermostat to 70. They were probably cranking it up to 80 plus, trying to stay warm.
And they've had outages in Texas and millions of people without power. And so there's a lot unresolved yet, but they're working on it thanks to our folks out there. And thank you to Custer Public Power for keeping us tuned into what's going on. And there is a 11 o'clock press conference that you can probably watch on your computer. We're not going to carry that today. We carried it yesterday, but we do have a conversation scheduled this morning with city officials of Broken Bow on how things are setting up here. And we'll have that for you on the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show before the close. We did have a change in plans here as Tammy was on the road and she is not able to do the Pizza Hut report today. So we will not have pizza first. We'll have the wrestling report coming up here in just a little bit. That gives us time to talk about some other things of interest here in our listening area.
That would be my cue. to remind you that Gibbons Electric does not monkey around. Call Gibbons Electric, LLC of Ansley for your jobs, big or small. Andy will give you a free estimate. Come out, look at the project. You can discuss it. Just give him a call at 308-763-1193. Andy now has a shop location right there on Main Street in Ansley, and he's ready to go to work for you with any residential, commercial, or agricultural electrical jobs. Offering 15 years of experience and eager to go to work for you, call 763-1193. Gibbons Electric, where they don't monkey around.
Here's a word from the Lillian Church.
Hi, everybody. This is Roger Sloan with the Lillian Church of Christ. We used to hear it all the time. If you want to live forever, make Jesus Lord of your life. But I've got news for you. We're all going to live forever. The only question is, where? If you have questions, we have answers. Give us a call, 872-2618, Lillian Church of Christ, where we love to share Jesus.
Quick note, the Diaper Depot will be open today at a new location from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. They are now going to be dispersing the diapers out of the Church of God, which is just west of the courthouse on Highway 2. But they ask that you do not park out on the highway for your safety. There's parking on the east side of the church between the courthouse and the church. But that's our new location, the Diaper Depot, 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. today at the Church of God in Broken Bow, west of the courthouse. Please do not park on the Highway 2.
Right.
Well, you got some paperwork there, as they say.
We do. I want to remind you that Sergeant Pipe in Broken Bow is currently looking for an office bookkeeping assistant. This is a full-time position. Duties would include answering the phone, filing and general office duties, as well as be a backup for office manager in accounts payable and accounts receivable. Health insurance and 401k benefits with this position. Also vacation time. You can send your resume to P.O. Box 627, Broken Bow, Nebraska 68822, or you can just drop it off at their location at 114 North 1st Avenue, just north of BD in Broken Bow. And you can check out this full listing, which is posted on sandhillsexpress.com. Just go to the employment page. Also want to remind you that tomorrow is going to be the third Thursday of the month, and every third Thursday, Rustic and Red in Cozad does something special. They call it their Sip and Shop, and that'll be tomorrow. Now, Valentine's Day may be over, but that doesn't change the fact that they love their customers at Rustic and Red. Sipping for the event will start at 4 o'clock. It'll go to 7, but discounts will be available all day long. They'll be open from 10 to 7 tomorrow. Make it a girls' night out, a date night, or just come and browse while enjoying a signature cocktail during their Sip and Shop at Rustic and Red in Cozad. There will be in-store specials all day long. We encourage you to follow them on Facebook at Rustic and Red to stay up to date with all their new arrivals and the third Thursday details.
Thank you, Brent. Today we're going to spread some more love outside of Broken Bow. We're going to be giving a gift card away to Gun Sense in Mason City. So listen to the breakfast show. Before we close the show today, your chance to win a $25 gift card to Gun Sense in Mason City. Tomorrow we'll be giving away a $25 card to Shotgun Annie's in Callaway. Be listening today for that chance to win and stop and see John in Mason City.
Back to the job listings. Central Nebraska Community Action Partnership is looking for a couple of positions or people to fill positions. One of them would be an infant toddler cook. This is a 40-hour per week year-round position in Broken Bow. Starting pay will be $11.22 per hour. Benefits include health, dental, life, and vision insurance, an exceptional PTO plan, paid holidays, and retirement available. Individual will purchase food and prepare meals complying with USDA requirements, be responsible for cleaning classrooms and dishes, laundry, etc., and work a minimal time in the classroom with children ages 6 weeks to 3 years old. CNCAP is also looking for an infant toddler co-teacher. This is also a 40-hour per week position year-round in Broken Bow. Starting pay will be $11.22 to $12.24 an hour, depending on qualifications. Great benefits apply, such as health, dental, life, and vision insurance, an exceptional PTO plan, flexible scheduling, and retirement available. This individual will work in a classroom with children ages 6 weeks to 3 years old, assisting the teacher with daily activities, planning activities, cleaning, and completing paperwork. For an application, contact CNCAP Human Resource Department at 308-745-0780. Their extension is 105. You can also go to their website to apply online, and that is centralnebraskacap.com.
We'll be having a wrestling report for you yet, and we'll also be talking with city officials. Gavin Higgins working on that right now about the situation here in Broken Bow. And again, we remind you that there will be planned outages, kind of planned. They pop up pretty quick, and if you get one in your area, expect that you'll be without power for an hour and a half maybe. So get ready for the possibility of those outages rolling through the Custer Public Power Service area.
Gun Sense in Mason City is the definition of full service. When it comes to firearms, always think Gun Sense. They're your one-stop suppressor shop. They can and do handle it all. Don't stress about the paperwork, fingerprints, trusts, and everything else involved. They take care of it for you. Also see them for awesome thermal products, night vision scopes, and of course ammo. It's in stock. Visit GunSense right on Highway 2 in Mason City. Open Tuesday through Saturday. GunSense, suppressors, scopes, ammo, and much more in Mason City.
Agland ATV has the Polaris machines that you'll want to start off the new year in style. Polaris is offering great rebates up to $1,000 on some of the most popular off-road machines during the New Year's sales event. New machines are arriving daily, and Kevin and Adam will help you find the ATV or side-by-side that you'll love. With approved financing at great rates and rebates for our ag customers, why wait? Find your machine at Agland ATV, West Highway 2, Broken Bow.
February is Heart Health Month. In the classic movie Heart Attack, the individual clutches his chest and crumples to the ground. But heart disease can be present without chest pain. If you're over 50 and experience shortness of breath, dizziness, or fatigue after moderate exertion, talk to your doctor. Don't ignore the early warning signs of possible heart disease.
This Heart Healthy feature was brought to you by the Callaway District Hospital. The Callaway District Hospital offers hometown friendliness with monthly outpatient clinics from specialists in cardiovascular disease. Consults with Dr. Lansbaugh from Kearney Regional and Dr. Kira Bakarin from Great Plains in North Platte allow their patients continuity of care as cardiologists consult with primary care physicians that day with any concerns or changes in care. This saves patients travel time unless absolutely necessary, and your waiting time is much quicker as well. Receive personal care from people who know you at the Callaway District Hospital.
And we're back with the final question. Are you ready?
Yep. I'd like to go ahead and answer the question.
I envy your confidence, but the producers are saying I have to ask the question.
All right, then.
For higher yields, which seed treatment fights hardest against nematodes?
The answer's Ilevo seed treatment.
That's correct.
Yeah, I know.
What a show. Join us next week when the right answer will still be Ilevo seed treatment. BASF, we create chemistry. Always read and follow label directions.
Agriculture is essential, and so is the Nebraska Ag Expo for farmers and ranchers. It is your chance to see all the latest technology, equipment, and ag services you need to increase profits, lower costs, and improve the way you farm and ranch. Come on out and bring your neighbor to the Lancaster Event Center, February 23rd, 24th, and 25th. Nebraska Ag Expo, new name, same great show. Register online for free admission at nebraskaagexpo.com. Sponsored in part by Farm Credit Services of America and Ag Direct.
All right, it's 9:16. We are cued and ready for the wrestling report. And I don't know, Brent, before we do that, maybe you could give us a little insight as to what you and the coach might be. Well, I suppose you'll be talking about Omaha.
Yeah, we recap with Coach Schaaf what happened with the Broken Bow wrestling team this past weekend when they qualified 9 for the state tournament this week in Omaha. So we'll kind of recap what happened at districts in Gearing over the weekend, and then we'll kind of talk a little bit about state this week.
All right. Brought to you by Duda Plumbing and Trotter Fertilizer. Wrestling reports on KCNI KVBN Radio are sponsored in part by Duda Plumbing. Whether you need plumbing service, septic installation, or plumbing, Duda Plumbing can help. The Broken Bow and area wrestlers work hard at each and every practice and match. That's why Duda Plumbing supports them. Give them a call at 872-3402. Duda Plumbing of Broken Bow is proud to sponsor wrestling reports and the awesome student athletes who take the match.
When you want the very best, go see Trotter, where you'll always get more for your dollar. We're your little friendly store, and we're right next door. That's what we're here for. Go see Trotter.
This wrestling report is brought to you by Trotter Fertilizer and Broken Bow. Their expertise helps you analyze your fields to determine just what is needed to move your fields forward for success right away and in the future. It's simple. If you want the most out of your fields, think Trotter Fertilizer.
And we are visiting now with Broken Bow head wrestling coach Ed Schaaf, who joins us on the Broken Bow Wrestling Report, brought to you by Duda Plumbing and Trotter Fertilizer in Broken Bow. Coach, congratulations on the success that your team had this past weekend at the B4 District Championships in Gearing. Tough district to compete in, and your kids really stepped up to the challenge. You qualified 9 for the state tournament coming up in Omaha. Before we go into some of the particulars and talk about the kids and some of the matches, just your overall thoughts about that day on Saturday.
It's a pretty good day. I mean, we wrestled pretty well. We had some matches right off the bat that, you get into those 4 or 5 matches in your bracket, and they're big matches. They kind of either, set you up for success, or they will kind of give you a tougher road to the state tournament. And we're pretty fortunate that those matches we were able to win. So we got started off pretty well, and it just kind of kept going from there.
You talk about some of those early matches, and we'll just start talking about Chauncey Watson, who qualified for you at 106. Wilson Zinn qualified for you at 113, and certainly for those two guys, getting that first win in the quarterfinals was just huge for their for the rest of their tournament and being able to qualify for the state tournament. Just talk a little bit, too, Ed, about how those matches even set up the rest of the day for your team as a whole, because what happens with kids early in the day can kind of just start to filter over to the rest of your kids, too, can it?
Oh, yeah, definitely. That's, going in with Chauncey, we knew that. I mean, the very first match was against a returning state qualifier from Holdridge, and we knew that if we could win that match, there was a really, really good shot at going to state for him. And he come out, and it was a 6-4 overtime win, and it was exciting. I mean, it kind of got everybody pumped up. And then Wilson come back, and the same thing. He'd lost to a McCook kid a couple of times before, and we knew that, if you win that 4-5 matchup, that as far as, the 4th seed versus the 5 seed, then you get out to the semifinals, and then they cross bracket. So you drop down and you wrestle everybody on the bottom side of the bracket, which typically is a 6-7 seed. That's your way to go to the state tournament. Mm-hmm. And it set those two up. And that just kind of got everybody excited. I mean, when we come out there, with Chauncey and Wilson, they've got such great personalities that, they're always smiling. They work hard. They're young guys. And that just kind of set everybody else up. They just kind of come out and, really were excited and just ready to wrestle.
Ed, you had 7 wrestlers advance to the championship match of their respective weight class. Cyrus Wells was your runner-up at 126. Trey Gary, runner-up at 138. Connor Wells at 145 was runner-up. Max Denson, runner-up at 170. Kiefer Anderson got into the championship at 220. And then you had your 2 district champions with Lathan Duda winning at 195 and Sawyer Bumgarner winning at 285 pounds. Just talk about the way your kids stepped up in that semi. Connor had a tough opponent at 145. Your kids really wrestled well in that semifinal round.
Yeah, it was a good round. It was an exciting round. It started off, with Cy wrestling the rough kid from Gering, who, I think he's only lost 2 matches all year. And, one of them being to Cy. And, he come up with a pretty crazy, wild takedown there at the end to win. But we had wrestled, that was kind of our game plan in that, we wanted to wrestle him on our feet because if you get underneath Paul Russ, it's going to be tough, a tough match. And so we wrestled him all on our feet and just, get our takedown and was able to win. And then, we talk a lot about how to win a tournament, and the semifinals are big. You got to get kids into the finals. And our kids at that time just kind of stepped up and wrestled well. Trey Jerry's been there before, and he'd wrestled the Mendez kid from Gothenburg. So it wasn't, we kind of thought that he probably had a pretty good shot. Connor, that Asa Johnson from Alliance was tough. We had beat him, or Connor had beat him at Gothenburg, and it was by 1 point. So we knew that was going to be a heck of a match. Max Denson, though, come in, and, he beat the number 3 seed the very first match, and then he had the number 2 seed. But we kind of talked that we thought that might be our best way to get to the final, is trying to wrestle there. Because the other side had a kid from Alliance, a kid from Gering and a kid from Scottsbluff that were both pretty good. So when the seeds come out and we were 6th seed and we knew we were going to get the Cozad kid first, we were kind of like, okay, this is what we're wanting to do. And he wrestled well. And Max has been there. He goes, Jeff had taken him around when he was a little kid, and he's been to big tournaments and was ready to go. Kiefer is the same way. Kiefer's tough. He runs into some kids that are, he ran into the Langen kid in the finals, but, that Langen kid is a beast, but Kiefer's tough. And then Lathan and Sawyer they're good.
Yeah.
And you kind of take those guys for granted at times because they're just out there winning. Mm-hmm. But they're pretty dang good. It was a good semifinal.
Oh man, it was just a thrilling round and a great round for your guys. I know that all of us knew that this B4 district was going to be high quality and very competitive, but when you are still wrestling after 7 o'clock Mountain Time and you started at 11, that the competition is pretty tough because there just weren't a lot of pins going on. Those matches were going the distance.
Yeah, and we started at 10. It was
10 Mountain. Yeah, right. 10 Mountain.
10
and then,
Mountain,
yes.
Yeah. We got down to after 7. And they only took, a half an hour break for a late lunch. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was just full matches. I think we had 5 or 6 overtime matches that we wrestled that day.
Amazing.
There was just tough. But, we talked about that. You go to 2 mats, which, probably you should. And then, you go to we had the sub-district, so you got, every kid there was good.
Yeah.
So it just was, I guess I haven't looked to see how many pins. We usually pin at a pretty good pace. We didn't have near as many pins because you just had to grind out matches, which is a good thing for our kids because, you know what, there's not going to be a whole lot of pins next week.
Yeah.
So it's good for them to understand that, you know what, we just got to grind out and score points when we can. And nope, it was a good day. Who I really felt bad about was those referees. Because those referees, they never, ever had a break. A lot of times they'll rotate guys in and out. They wrestled every match. There was 2 referees on there. I can't imagine how tired they were because I know how I felt yesterday.
Yeah.
And I didn't even wrestle. I didn't do much.
I know. I hear you. Ed, we've talked about the kids who have qualified. You had other kids who wrestled really well for you and in some cases fell just a match short. Talk about those kids and the good season that they had, if you would.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They call it they call it the heartbreak rounds for a reason because there was just, it stinks. It's the worst feeling, and that's the thing is we wrestled so well during the day, and I found myself at the end, you know what, my heart was just going out for Caden Powers. You know, he's a senior that had some, you know, struggles as a sophomore and junior staying healthy, and come back this year and wrestled well, and at one point was up pretty big in the match, and next thing you know, he just ended up getting pinned, and you just felt like it got, you know, kicked in the stomach. And it's those are conversations that you know, it's so much more fun to give kids hugs and you know what, tell them that they made it and how proud you are of them, and everything. That hugging them when they're done is, I mean, your heart just hurts for them because they've worked so hard and they put so much into it, and you know, sometimes it just doesn't work out, and you know, it stinks.
Yeah,
I don't know what else to say. I feel bad for when we can't. I mean, and the reality of it is, it happens. I mean, we've never qualified 14 people, so I don't have to deal with that. But it's not much fun.
Yeah.
And you just I feel for them because, you know, he was wanting to do it, and it just didn't happen.
Well, overall, a fabulous day for you, and now you're going to get ready to take these 9 kids to the state tournament. It'll be a little bit different, obviously, with the way the format has changed because of COVID and everything. You won't wrestle now until Friday morning, so for Class B, it'll be Friday and Saturday. What are you focusing on, Ed, as you get ready to take the kids to Omaha?
Just to be relaxed and understand that, you know what, some of them, it's going to be the first time they've been out there. It's still, you know, a wrestling match, and just be ready. I mean, just score 1 point at a time, and, you know, we'll just compete. So.
Well, we always appreciate you taking the time to visit with us during the season, and we'll look forward to visiting with you one more time when we kind of do a recap next Monday of the state tournament. So best of luck to you and the kids as you head to Omaha.
Thank you very much. I appreciate everything.
That's Coach Ed Schaaf joining us on the Broken Bow Wrestling Report.
When you want the very best, go see Trotter, where you'll always get more for your dollar. We're your little friendly store, and we're right next door. That's what we're here for. Go see Trotter.
This wrestling report is brought to you by Trotter Fertilizer and Broken Bow. Their expertise helps you analyze your fields to determine just what is needed to move your fields forward for success right away and in the future. It's simple. If you want the most out of your fields, think Trotter Fertilizer.
Wrestling reports on KCNI KVBN Radio are sponsored in part by Duda Plumbing. Whether you need plumbing service, septic installation, or plumbing, Duda Plumbing can help. The Broken Bow and area wrestlers work hard at each and every practice and match. That's why Duda Plumbing supports them. Give them a call at 872-3402. Duda Plumbing of Broken Bow is proud to sponsor wrestling reports and the awesome student athletes who take the match. It is 9:31. You're listening to The Breakfast Show. Brent Apperson and Dave Burney with you, and we're going to get Brent Apperson on the road here in just a little bit. We did want to also note that as Brent was looking at road conditions, which you folks can do as well by going to sandhillsexpress.com and going to the weather tab, and it'll drop down for you, and you'll see forecast, closings, and road conditions, and sounds like there could be some slick surfaces out there this morning. Joe noticed this morning when we are on our way to work that everybody was driving a little bit slower out there, depending on where you are.
Yeah, showing some roadways in the area, saying partially covered with ice and slush. So, yeah, be careful as you're driving out and about today.
Little bit of snow cover here, but very light, fluffy snow. And not measurable, so we'll guess that as you travel, conditions will change. And I know a lot of you will be heading down to Omaha to the state tournament again this year, even with all the pandemic regulations. So travel with very, very special care so we can get you back home safe and sound. And Brent Apperson has paper in his hand. That means he's got something on his mind.
Well, we got one more business note to let you know about, and that's our friends at the Garden Center, your year-round garden center in Broken Bow. They have various new houseplants to choose from right now and some wonderful pottery, stylish, decorative, creative, unique pots in various colors to appease any style. And you know what? Spring is going to come, and you can always get ready for spring right now, as a matter of fact. No waiting around for the Garden Center. Garden seed is in, so be prepared to walk in and grab the seed you need to get some of your seedlings started even now. You can call them at 872-6095 or stop in and see them. They are open right now Tuesday through Friday, 10 to 5:30, open on Saturday from 10 until 2. That is the Garden Center in Broken Bow.
And oh, what fun that will be to walk in and start talking about seeds and dirt and planting. And Ryan would love to help you with that. Again, the Diaper Depot open today from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. at a new location. That's going to be now at the Church of God, just west of the courthouse on Highway 2. But they ask you not park on Highway 2. There's other parking available, and they just want you to be safe. Don't get out there and park on the highway as you stop by there. The rolling blackouts will be underway now in our area, and you should expect at least some of those to affect us. And if you are out of power, plan on it for about an hour and a half now. That's what the Custer Public Power folks are telling us. And it'll travel up through, Ansley area, Litchfield area, up through Broken Bow, then over to Callaway, Stapleton, and Thedford areas. So we don't know exactly who's going to be without power, but they're doing that to keep the grid going. So turn those thermostats to maybe 68 or so. Shut off anything that you don't use and see if we can help things out here and get through this day. There's brighter days ahead. Now we're going to be giving away a $25 gift card to Gun Sense in Mason City. And I know John would love to have you stop in and start with that $25, and he would take you down the ammo trail. He'd take you down the shotgun trail, the rifle trail, the night visual equipment trail. If you're thinking about a silencer, he has a computer set up right there to start that process. So give John a chance to serve you because, as he says, he's competitive with the internet. He is better than the internet, we think, because you can actually talk to him and get yourself set up properly. And if something doesn't go quite right, John will be there for you at Gun Sense in Mason City, and we always appreciate his business partnership with us. So this, I'm thinking ammo. Like if you're thinking about maybe doing some shotgun or rifle shooting, maybe you got a .22, get a couple boxes of cartridges or shells to shoot with and hone your skills. So that's all available, and we'll be doing that in a moment. I want to let you know that our sponsorship for the wrestling is phenomenal. So Jeremy is absent this next couple of days, and so that leaves me a little leeway as an administrator, GM. I think you can move up from hot dogs to hamburgers.
Thanks,
Dave. for your lunches with
Does that
Mr.
include
Crowley.
Cheese on the hamburger?
Go for some cheese.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, maybe an extra slice.
Man, maybe a pickle?
Yeah, I would prefer you just drink water, though, because pop's kind of expensive.
Okay. We'll do that.
But we want you to travel safe, and I know Mr. Crawley is excited. We miss Mr. Patch not being there, but circumstances just won't allow that. And so, maybe again next year we'll have all three of you back together again. But in the meantime, Mr. Crawley, and as you improve your wrestling knowledge, it's coming off really, really nice. And again, folks, it's real time. It's not just reports. You're going to be hearing what the wrestling match is, what's happening right on the mats. Sometimes there'll be more than one contest.
Oh, yeah, we'll have more
going.
than one kid wrestling at the same time, but we'll try to keep you updated on the scores and everything when they're out there.
All right. We will take the third caller at 872-2801. Third caller at 872-2801 for a $25 gift card to Gun Sense in Mason City.
7 days a week, when you're looking for a home-cooked meal, look no further than the Tumbleweed Cafe on East Highway 2. They feature daily lunch specials that are a great pick-me-up in the middle of your day. Don't forget, you can order online and pick up too, or make use of their handy drive-thru for extra fast, home-style food. They love serving Central Nebraska with the classics, from burgers and fries to chicken fried steak and pies, at the Tumbleweed Cafe, East Highway 2, Broken Bow.
Get Lenten savings at the Grocery Cart in Broken Bow. These prices are good through Easter Sunday. Vandekamp's breaded fish fillets or sticks are $5.48. Orca Bay Ocean Perch fish fillets $4.88. Gorton's breaded shrimp $3.88. Orca Bay tilapia fish fillets $2.98. Kraft tartar or cocktail sauces are only $1.88. And Fridays in the Deli mix or choose just one: fish, shrimp, 2 sides, and a drink for $10.98. Lenten savings are at the Grocery Cart, East Highway 2, Broken Bow.
The great thing about your phone or tablet is having information right at your fingertips. Who's that guy in the movie? Where's the best deal? Stuff like that. Of course, for insurance, you can't beat your Battle Creek Mutual Independent Agent and the new Battle Creek mobile app. Carry electronic proof of insurance, review policy info, pay your bill, or connect with your agent. And it's ready to help if you have an accident. Download the app for your device at bcmutual.com. Battle Creek Mutual Insurance. Better together.
Don't you hate it when they cut to commercials and everything gets so loud? The loud music, the loud voices, and the sound effects. Everything is too loud. At Channel, we're saying no to the noise. We're stripping back the excess and focusing on what you really need. Customized recommendations and expert advice from people you can count on. Support that yields the best possible performance for your specific conditions. An experience that yields results. Because when you turn down all the extra noise, you can hear yourself succeed. This moment of clarity is brought to you by Channel. Discover how a Channel seedsman can help drive performance in your fields. Visit channel.com/results.
I wished he'd quit whispering like that.
I agree.
All right, we have a winner. Logan Gerardin was the third caller. Third caller, so he'll be able to go enjoy a shopping spree at Gun Sense in Mason City. And we thank John again for being part of the breakfast show, and also invite you to join us tomorrow for a chance to win a certificate to Shotgun Annie's in Callaway. I ought to go over there and have one of those big steaks or big cheeseburgers. Maybe a shot of tequila. No, I don't want to. I'm not going to ride a motorcycle when I do it.
Easy, Bruce.
Yeah. Just call me the boss. Hey, Brent, have a great trip. I know you're kind of torn. I heard your broadcast last night. You'd like to be doing basketball and wrestling, but you're only one guy.
Yeah, I haven't discovered how to clone myself yet.
Fortunately, you have good partners here.
Oh, yes, we do. Absolutely.
Take care of that. So, yeah, it's a fun time of year. Before you know it, we'll be covering track.
Oh, my.
That's
yeah.
something to think about.
Well, after not getting to cover it last year, that will be good.
That will be good. Now, we're going to take a time out. When we come back, we'll have Dan Knoll, who heads up the city of Broken Bow. He's our administrator, to talk about the electricity situation that has been ongoing, and that should be very interesting. That will be with Gavin Higgins, but we're going to turn Brent loose so he can prepare and hit the road. Thanks, Brent.
Yep, thank you.
We'll have Dan Knoll right after these words.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/work. That's ZipRecruiter.com/work.
President Biden says he will defeat the NRA, and now the NRA is fighting back. All this week, Newsmax TV's Stinchfield tells the real story about Biden and the NRA. Watch Stinchfield at 8 p.m. Eastern on Newsmax TV. It's on all major cable systems. Check your guide or call them. Tell them you want Newsmax. And download the free Newsmax app on your smartphone or smart TV and watch us now. 30 million Americans watch Newsmax. You should too.
Are you considering a career in broadcasting? With the help of KCNI KBBN and the Nebraska Broadcasters Association Foundation, you can be a part of this exciting field. We're offering two $2,000 scholarships to four-year college and university students who will have completed 30 credits as of May 31st, 2021. Let us help you reach your career goals. For more information, contact KCNI KBBN. Applications must be received by the NBA by March 1st, 2021.
The great thing about your phone or tablet is having information right at your fingertips. Who's that guy in the movie? Where's the best deal? Stuff like that. Of course, for insurance, you can't beat your Battle Creek Mutual Independent Agent and the new Battle Creek mobile app. Carry electronic proof of insurance, review policy info, pay your bill, or connect with your agent. And it's ready to help if you have an accident. Download the app for your device at bcmutual.com. Battle Creek Mutual Insurance. Better together.
At this time on KCNI KBBN, I am joined by Dan Noel, City Administrator from Broken Bow, and what a weird couple of days.
Yeah, it's been crazy.
Well, I know that pretty much for the most part, we're talking about power. Rolling outages, of course, continuing across the region today and have been for the last couple of days. Unfortunately, Broken Bow kind of got the additional hit on top of that, losing power that was not planned. And unfortunately, it feels like one thing after another. When it rains, it pours, I suppose.
Yeah, it seems that way between the snow and the cold weather. It's putting one major strain on the power grids.
Electrical Superintendent Blake Waldo wasn't able to join us today, but I know he has some information he wanted to pass along to everyone, so I'll just kind of turn things over to you.
Yeah, Blake really wanted to be here, but unfortunately we're having some power issues inside of our own power plant. We've been running that. Monday they ran it for about 12 hours, and then yesterday they ran it again for quite a few hours, and then all of a sudden that magical power outage that I heard took out almost the whole county, if not the whole county. And so that caused some major issues inside of our own power plant. It's kind of weird that, power goes out and it affects a power plant like that. But so otherwise Blake wanted to be here, but his main thing that he wanted to pass around was yesterday we were put back into a level 1 status for power, meaning they had enough to meet demand, and then had a little bit left in the reserve. Last night they put us back into a level 2, and so that means that they're meeting demand, but the reserve has been used up again already. And so we're just kind of fearful the next 48 hours is going to be kind of wishy-washy on where nobody's going to know. We did get a heads up that a couple communities are a part of that rolling blackout, and we're not a part of that yet. So that's kind of a good thing. But there is that possibility we're going to go back into level 3. If we go back into level 3, accidents like yesterday or unplanned ones could happen just because of the demand with how cold it's been. But Blake does want to thank everybody for being understanding. Yesterday it did take in the northeast part of Broken Bow. It took a little extra longer, or it took longer, to get power back on. They had a breaker that they just could not get to stay in. So those guys were out and getting that. So he wants to make sure everybody understands that he's appreciative of the patience that was shown yesterday. Because I believe the northeast part of Broken Bow was like 3 hours with no power. So it got really cold for them. So he's really thankful for that. And then he also wanted to pass on to BD how great BD's been through this process. They use a lot of power. So BD helped Broken Bow out too the last couple days, where they have reduced their load as much as possible. I know yesterday I believe they were down to under 50% of their load capacity, which is great because that is what is going to help stop Broken Bow being a part of that rolling blackout. The more power we can reduce, the less or not as bright as our flashy light on SPP and PPD and means system. So that's he's really appreciative, and so am I. And everybody else that's out here and enjoying our days.
Obviously, the cold, hopefully, eventually going to come to an end. Still will be cold this week, and so you expect people still use quite a bit of heat. But I think the message has really been fairly consistent for the past few days: is try to reduce as much usage as possible. A massive plant like BD, they're pulling a lot of power, and even they understand that, hey, you got to back off a little bit. And I would assume that your message is the same today.
Yeah, it is. If you're not using certain appliances, unplug them, even though they are. You're not technically using them. They're still drawing power. Try not to run dryers if you don't have to. Find a different way to cook. Limit your ovens. And obviously, we don't want you to freeze, but it doesn't hurt to just turn your temp down just a couple, or your thermostat down a couple degrees. That will help. And then if you can, try to limit your space heaters. Those do draw a lot of amperage and then puts a strain on the system.
Well, any final thoughts? I know that it feels like one thing after the other, but if there's still outages, if people have power outages, still encouraged to call the city, correct?
Yeah, even if something like yesterday happens again, definitely call the city. It could be just something that a breaker just went out and the guys already know about it, or they might not know about it. And so if something does happen, definitely call the city and we'll get somebody out to check it out.
Perfect. Thank you so much for your time, Dan.
Yep, thank you.
And thank you, Dan Knoll, who is administrator for the City of Broken Bow, for updating us with that report. Challenging days right now. Thank you, Gavin Higgins, for putting that report together. I'll be changing over to KCNI here this morning and covering for Jeremy on the Party Line show. So I'll look forward to talking with you then. And Jeff Bailey will take over the information hour between 10 and 10:30. And Brent still has some music to play for you this afternoon. And so we're set. We're ready to go on the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Have a great day.